Two. You gotta have two of them. At least two. Gotta have two. Oh no, I ain't fucking with that shit. I felt that shit burning my nostrils. Probably too late in on that. Yo, come on in. It's about to be the truth spoken. Drop a one in the comment section if you can hear me. Drop a one in the comment section if you can hear me. Yo, how everybody doing? You can hear me, drop a one in the comment section. I'll get started. A lot of people don't want to tell. I'm gonna give you a different perspective and a different look on why a lot of people that come from other countries can have reasons to dislike black Americans. And it's something that, I don't think black Americans, they really don't talk about this. You know what I'm saying? We'll try to come up with different reasons why immigrants really don't rock with us like that, or people come from other countries, but we really don't speak about the fact that we have played sidekick to the British American since the Revolutionary War. For example, let me give you an example. Let's say you somebody from Vietnam. During the Vietnam War, when you seen the American people invading Vietnam, you seen black soldiers and you seen white soldiers. And as a person from Vietnam who never been to America, and you're not really familiar with American history, when you see black soldiers and white soldiers arrive, you think this a fucking team. You think this is Batman and Robin. You would think that the way that they're coming in as a team to invade Vietnam, that back home, that they treat each other as equal. Because they're invading our country as equal. And a lot of black Americans don't think about that. That every time that the America has went into another country to invade another country, the black American has always been the sidekick. Has always been the sidekick. From the Mexican-American War, you name a war, the black American was the sidekick running into Iraq, was the sidekick when they took down Gaddafi. We've been the sidekick when we ran in Germany. Even though when we come back home, we're not treated as equal, but we always playing the sidekick. So when we in other countries, invading these other countries, helping the British American, these immigrants see us as someone who they expect us to be as treated equal when we come back home, when they see us. And so so if you're a person from Vietnam and you're bearing witness to black soldiers, black American soldiers invading Vietnam and taking the life of Vietnamese people, you're a Vietnamese person, and one day, Lord beholds, you get the chance to come to America. You get the chance to come to America because America good for that, invading countries and then later down the line allowing them same people into the country. And so when a person from Vietnam comes to America, you know what they expect to see? This same brotherly love right here. They expect to see black people and white people chilling together, getting along together, treating each other as equal. Imagine coming to America as a person from Vietnam after witnessing all these black and white soldiers take the lives of Vietnamese people, and then you come here and see black people begging. Imagine that. Imagine you a person from Vietnam witnessing black American soldiers coming into your country, invading your country with white Americans. Hold on, let me show you something. Invading your country, okay? Invading your country with white Americans. And then when you, Lord beholds, one day, You get a chance to come to America. You get a chance to come to America and you see black Americans over here motherfucking basically motherfucking asking for equality. Asking to be treated like human beings. But you ran your ass into Vietnam and helped fight this war against the Vietnamese people. And don't tell me you didn't have a choice, because guess what? Ali had a choice, and Ali rather sit in jail and lost his belt. So when you get Mexicans, for example, they come to America. They familiar with Mexican history. And they know that black Americans was highly involved with helping the British Americans take a lot of states from Mexico. So when Mexicans come to this fucking country and see black Americans being treated like motherfucking animals, but had the dignity and the nerve to be these motherfuckers sidekicks, to run up in our shit and take our states, no, ain't nobody having that respect for you like that. You will suit up and boot up and go risk your life for the same people who will treat you like and then guess what? They'll bring the Mexicans and the Vietnamese people over into the country and then treat them better than you. The same motherfuckers that they had the black Americans go into their country and take the lives of their people, they'll turn around 10 years later, let the motherfuckers into the country like the Somalians, and then treat the motherfuckers better than you. And then they get here and see that. Imagine that. They see that shit. They like, wait a minute. Damn it. This can't be the same black American who is just over here marching through our motherfucking country. This cannot be the same black American that's over here marching into our country. Over here asking for equality. This can't be him. This can't be the red tails that we heard about. Okay? This can't be the ones who helped run up in Germany and Italy. This can't be the same black Americans. That now I get a chance to come to America and I see that they being treated lesser than motherfucker the people that they just went to war for against. Y'all will never understand. Hold on, let me fix my photos. My fault. 10K and lost his passport, not really free. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, when you're a person from, you say, Vietnam, and during the Vietnam War, the Vietnamese people seen two type of people, majority, when it came to the American soldiers. They seen the black American soldier and they seen the white American soldier. Those were the ones that was fighting against the Vietnamese for the most part. Black Americans and white Americans. So when you're a person from Vietnam, you are expecting that, hey, I never been to America. I don't know American history as a Vietnamese person. And then one day, you know, the way that black Americans was moving around Vietnam and in Germany, you would think that back home that they was being treated as equal. And so when these same immigrants get a chance, knowing their history, knowing that black Americans was involved in the Korean War, black Americans was involved in Iraq, black Americans was involved in Afghanistan, black Americans was involved in the Vietnam War, black Americans was involved in World War I, World War II. When you look into that, and you on the receiving end of that destruction that the American soldiers are bringing, you would expect that black soldiers and white soldiers was treated equal at home, that the people was being treated equal at home, the way that they equally running up in Vietnam. But then you get a chance as a Vietnamese person one day to come to America. And then when you come to America and you see the black Americans, they're not being treated with that same dignity and equality that they're being treated with when they're soldiers in other people's land. When they come, when these people, these immigrants come to America, and they be like, wait a minute. So you telling me that these people are over here, let you tell it, oppressing you, and then you had the nerve to suit up and play Robin and run into our fucking country? And then when we get over here, we see all the things that y'all have allowed yourself to be involved in. Y'all not even taking advantage of this shit, of the system that you saying that's oppressing you. Just imagine that as a Vietnamese person. You finally get a chance to come to America, and you like, wait, this can't be the mighty black soldier. Yeah, that's why I would always be. And that's why all the immigrants will come here, and it's a lack of respect for that. And I don't think they, a lot of immigrants, especially Mexicans, they be trying to say that, but they don't really say that. They be like, wait a minute, you black Americans want us to respect you and look at you as a unit with us as brown people. Think about that. Black people, black Americans would like Hispanics, especially Mexicans, to unite with them on some black and brown shit. But black Americans was involved with helping the British American take them states from Mexico. Think about that. Black Americans played sidekick in the Mexican-American War. They was the sidekick. Even when the British Americans didn't even want their ass in the army. They fought and protested to be involved in the army to take Mexico's shit. And then you look down the line and you so fucking filled with some fucking, you so fucked up that you think that Mexicans don't know Mexican history. That they don't know that black Americans were involved in help white Americans take 9 states from Mexico. Did y'all forget about that, black Americans? That you played sidekick in the Mexican-American War that led to like 9 major states being taken from Mexico? Mexicans haven't forgot that. That's part of their history, black Americans. Okay, let me say that again. For the people who just came in. Black Americans, one more time, black Americans played sidekick in the Mexican Revolution, Mexican-American War. They played sidekick to the British American. Even when the British American did not want them to fight in the service, they protest to fight in the service, even though they didn't want them in it. They helped take 9 states from Mexico. They played the white man. Listen, the Native American was out the game. Okay, he was to the side. It was the white Americans and the black Americans who took those 9 states from Mexico. Do y'all think Mexicans don't know their history? So y'all want Mexicans all of a sudden now to look at y'all with a sense of pride. Like they don't know history. Like they don't know that the black man played Robin. Okay, we talking about Batman and Robin. Like they don't know that the black man played Robin. Every war that America has fought, that white American has fought, black America has played sidekick. And then down the line, white Americans let those same immigrants into the country. Do that make sense now? Black Americans help white Americans take 9 states from Mexico, then turn around and let all the Mexicans into the fucking country. And you think they finna respect you? And they get here and you marching and asking for equality. How you asking for equality and you just came over there and took 9 motherfucking states from us? How all of a sudden, why are you marching and asking for equality and you just suited and booted and got up and took 9 states from us? So Mexican people know their history. They know that black people played a major role in help taking those 9 states from Mexico. Even though Mexico was allowing runaway black Americans, so supposedly slaves, into Mexico to get away from the oppression of the white Americans. Now, that's what history say, not me. I talked to some Mexicans, some honest Mexican people, and they was like, listen, we know our history. We was letting black people into Mexico that was trying to get away from the British Americans doing slavery. And then they turned around and motherfucking suited up with them same Europeans and went to war and took 9 of our states. Yes, the black man played the motherfucking sidekick role. But at the same time was at home begging for equality. Begging to be treated like a real human being. And then you want those people to side with you when they see that you will go to war with your enemy? I'm going to say that again. Then you want those people to come into America, look at you, know what you done, know your history, know their history or familiar with it, and then side with you when they just seen you side with your enemy, the same people you said oppressed you, stole from you, took your memory, took your culture, took your background, your legacy, either stole you from your land or stole your land from you, however you want to write the script. You was willing to suit up with those individuals and come and take 9 states from Mexico, but then now down the line, you want our children to side with yours? We don't think about that as black Americans. It's the little things that count sometimes. Same thing with Vietnam. You want some Vietnamese people to now come into a... Hold on, let me show. You want some Vietnamese people to now come into America and side with you? When you had the nerve to side with your oppressor and come into our country and kill, rob, and steal? Huh, black American? Sidekick? Okay, y'all just went into Venezuela. Who you think was the other? Who do you think was the sidekick? They just went into Venezuela and took the Venezuelan president. Who do you think was the sidekick? Black American? Next to white Americans, there's no greater number of individuals in the service than other than black Americans. I'm gonna say that again. Next to white Americans, the next number of people that have the greatest number in the service is black Americans. So every time when white Americans go do some shit, they take you with them. They create an enemy, and then they turn around down the line and let that same enemy or the descendants of that enemy or the children of that enemy or supposedly who was supposed to be an enemy into the country. Lay down the red carpet for them. Whisper in their ear. Don't fuck with those black Americans. Even though they was just fucking with the black Americans taking your people shit in Vietnam. Ain't that something? Don't fuck with them black Americans. And then let them in the country amongst you. And now you think they supposed to respect you? They like, wait a minute. So they got up, knew these people didn't love them, like them, care about them, appreciate them, but they still put on a suit of armor, came all the way to Vietnam, took my people's life, took my people's resources, and then later down the line, I get over here into America, and that same motherfucker they suited up with is telling me don't fuck with them? That's some cold shit. That's some cold. You don't gotta like my live right now, but you gotta admit, that's some cold ass shit to do to a motherfucker. Black Americans have been gaining enemies since day one, ever since they've been suiting up and going to war. They don't even know it. They just be looking at motherfuckers like why motherfuckers like them. For instance, I'm going to say this one more time. Next to white Americans, Black Americans hold the next biggest number of people in the armed services. Okay? So every time white Americans go over to war, Black Americans go with them. When they ran in Iraq and took the lives of Saddam Hussein and his two sons, whether you liked it, you thought it was a good idea or bad. I'm not talking about whether you think it was a good situation or a bad thing to do. I just want to talk about the situation at hand. When they did that, you don't think there were no black soldiers there? Because I got a cousin that was there. And my sister's husband was there. So, you telling me you don't believe that there were no black Americans present in Afghanistan taking lives? So when they let some of these people into the country like they usually do down the line with some refugee program, these people see black Americans as one with them. Because they know 9 times out of 10 if white Americans go to war, you're going to go to war with them. So why do you think they're supposed to keep liking and respecting you? And then when they come over to the country, they see that you're not even being respected like you supposed to be. You're the same person suiting up as Robin every time Batman go outside. You rap with him. But you're not being respected like that. You don't got the keys to the Bat Cave or nothing. Alfred don't make you no sandwiches or shit. Okay? You don't get to talk to Batgirl or nothing. No Justice League round table for you. They leave you out the loop. But you playing Robin every night. And so them same immigrants come to the country and they looking like, why the fuck should I be respecting some people who all their history really show is, as far as what they're going to show, what's going to be in the history books, is that we shall overcome ass shit. But when they come to our country, they shooting M16s all over the motherfucking place. You ever notice that? Black Americans getting the stuff, they goddamn get over to other people's country dropping bombs, all type of shit. They war technicians. Get back to America, they marching. Them same people are amongst you. They watching. They like, how you motherfuckers go from bombing us in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Kuwait, in Korea, in Vietnam, in Germany, to being over here marching about every fucking thing and protesting and whining and fucking crying. But when you come over to these other countries, you ready to kill. You playing Robin every time to the British American. You've been doing it since the Revolutionary War. And when these descendants of these people come over here, they see that. They know their history. They know black Americans played a part in taking motherfucking states from Mexico. They know black Americans played a part in taking lives from Vietnamese people. I got a neighbor. He a black American. That motherfucker that took so many motherfucking lives in Vietnam is pathetic. Old ass man. He told me they used to shoot Vietnamese people like, and TikTok, YouTube don't ban me, but I'm just trying to tell you what he told me. He told me they used to shoot their ass like weasels because they used to pop out a hole, manhole. Like they used to make these type of like a fucking like little holes you can like stand in and pop out. He was the way he was trying to explain it to me, and he was like, it was like weasels popping up. He was like, we was taking so many. They was black American soldiers. So when Vietnamese people come over here, you think they supposed to look at you? No, nigga, they know that black Americans was over in Vietnam taking Vietnamese people's lives. So now you like, different people come to America and they just don't appreciate and like and respect black Americans after all we done sacrificed. All the sacrifices you made to join the armed service and go to their country and kill their fucking people. That sacrifice you made? Huh? That one? Enlighten me. Which one are you talking about? This one? Okay, when you was just jumping out of helicopters and motherfucker shit? These people have not forgot, black Americans, that you have played a part in invading a lot of countries with white Americans. And I'm just telling you the truth. I'm not saying I dislike nobody or nothing, but I just look at things a little bit different because I have a lot of people that have been in the service. And I know we have made a lot of enemies fighting these wars with white America. It's just the truth. Black Americans has been running up in other countries since motherfucking World War II. I got an uncle that fought in World War II. He just passed away like a fucking year ago. Look him up, Lewis Bradley, World War II veteran. What you think he was over there doing? So when you get somebody from over there and they come over here and they fuck black America, we don't fuck with black Americans no more than we fuck with. Okay, let me say it like this. When you hear them people over in the Middle East and they be like, Western culture, Western civilization, the ways of the West. They don't just say white. They know black people involved with that shit as well. They just don't say that shit. We think when they say we hate America, they talking about just white Americans. They know if white America suit up right now and go to war, if he look to his right, 9 times 10, it's going to be a black American right there. White America have not went into a war ever in America without a black American. That's just the truth. From the Revolutionary War to fucking going in Venezuela right now, taking that fucking president. Trust and believe it was a black American somewhere. I don't give a fuck if he was a commander. I don't give a fuck if he was peeling potatoes. I don't give a fuck if he was the radio, the medical guy. I don't care. He was flying a drone. I do not care. The lookout, he was there. And so don't expect these people to come from other countries who really don't like America to like you. And then they can't have too much respect for you because when they come here, when you in their country, they see you as an almighty soldier. They go to black American soldiers. Man, a lot of these people never been to America before. When y'all over there invading they shit. But then somewhere down the line, they get some refugee programs out the blue, and next thing you know, they got a whole community in America. And then they get over here and start seeing how black Americans conduct themselves and how America itself treats black Americans, even though after all black Americans, many sacrifices. That make a motherfucker don't respect you either. That make a motherfucker don't really respect you. They're like, we get over here. I never been to America. I don't know American history. I would expect when I got over here after black Americans and ran their ass up in Iraq and Afghanistan and Vietnam and Mexico, I would expect when I got over here, y'all was equals. Y'all was equals the way y'all ran up in our motherfucking country. I thought black Americans and white Americans was equal. If I was a person from Vietnam, for example, I would think y'all was equals the way that y'all ran up in our country. But when I look around and I finally get a chance as a Vietnamese person or a person from Iraq or Afghanistan to come to America, and I see that the way you treat yourself, and I see the way that those same so-called white Americans let you tell it, treating you, and you're being treated by the same country you making these sacrifices for, you know, respect is very hard to give a person like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can dislike it all you want. You know, it's just come on. It's like this. It's like finding out the toughest bully is getting bullied. You know what I'm saying? It's like finding out the bully is being bullied. Like he taking your lunch money every day, and then you know one day you just happen to walk around the corner and see some motherfucker taking his lunch money. Like, wait a minute, the bully is being bullied? And I don't think black Americans register that shit. I just don't think that we ever think about the fact that we have went around the world literally taking people's lives with motherfucking white Americans for over fucking what, 200 years. We have literally went in every country that white America has invaded. Black Americans have been right there invading that motherfucker with them. But see, this the kicker though. With white American, with those in power, let me say, because I ain't gonna say it's the average white American, but those in power, those British Americans, because this is a British English country. Those British Americans, when they motherfucking, what this the deal though? They go make an enemy, and they take black Americans with them, and black Americans make that same enemy with them. But this be the deal though. They turn around and let those same people into the country. So they give them a helping hand. Yeah, they knocked them down, but they turned around and gave them a helping hand. You didn't give them shit. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they went and knocked them down. But they turned around and give them a helping hand. What do you give them? See, that's the thing. Black Americans can suit up and go to war with these different nations and countries with white Americans and create these enemies and gain enemies, because these people become your enemy. You're over there taking lives, and in some sense you're taking resources as well. But this the deal. Later down the line, white America will go and allow these people into America under a refugee program and do something for them. But what do you do for them, black America, once they get here? And so they can still have a little respect and a little honor towards the white Americans for that. You just seen as now a flunky, especially when they come into the country and see the way that you're basically, you know, marching and always protesting and looking for some sort of equality, like you being treated less than a man or a human being. When they see that, they ain't got no respect for you like that, man. And like you strong when it's time to go over there, but when you get back home, man, it's back talking about our communities being treated like. Then when they start learning about black American history, see, that's another thing that black Americans don't look at. When they get over here and they really start learning black American history, like, wait a minute, they didn't bomb what? Y'all had a whole fucking little town over here they bombed. They was hanging people where? They was doing what to the women? They was what? Then your bitch ass had the nerve to motherfucking put on the uniform and run into my fucking country, Vietnam, and take lives? Think about that. When they finally get black Americans, see, they don't want to come over and learn black American history. You shouldn't want them to. Honestly, that's the last thing black Americans should want them to learn is our history. Because our history is basically a book to say, you know, it's an invitation to say, so why the fuck did you suit up and come to war against my country with them then? If they was doing all this shit to y'all. Why did you help? Why did you help your enemy fight his battles in wars? See, that's what learning Black American history does to immigrants, especially immigrants whose countries were invaded by America, such as Vietnam, Korea, the Filipinos in some sort of way. Mexico, yeah, Mexico was invaded by America. We took 9 states from their ass. Let's not forget that. Mexicans know their fucking history. And so when you come over to America, let's say as a person that's Mexican or whatever, and you learn Black American history, that makes you even more fucking mad. Y'all don't realize that? That makes them even more fucking mad. They like, wait a minute. So all this shit was happening, y'all. Man, they don't be knowing American history. They be fresh off of motherfucking what you would call the boat, so to speak. And then they start learning Black American history, and they be like, wait a minute, all this shit was happening, y'all, and you motherfuckers had the nerve to put on a uniform and come run up in Vietnam with these motherfuckers? All this shit was happening to you, and you had the nerve to come suit up and run up in Korea, Germany, Afghanistan, Iraq, Pakistan. You have the nerve to do that? You want us to learn y'all history? You want us to learn your always asking and begging for equality history? You want us to learn that? You want us to learn you pleading to the same motherfuckers who you went to war with against us? You want us to learn that history? You want us to learn that the same white soldiers that you came over with, the same people that Black Americans came over and went to Vietnam and Korea and Afghanistan, you want us to believe, you want us to learn the history that these same soldiers that you walking with was spraying your ass with motherfucking water cannons? You want us to learn that history? Think about that. You're asking immigrants to learn. You're asking the same people who America has invaded their countries and then let them people into the country. And then now you asking them to learn your fucking history? Come on, man. Like, somewhere down the line, you gotta go. You just got to. At some point in time, that's why Black Americans keep saying, we don't got no friends on earth. We don't got no. Y'all, you ever heard of that? You ever heard Black Americans say that? We don't got no friends out here. We all alone in this. Dude, you have basically went around the earth with white Americans. I'm going to ask you one more time. Have y'all ever heard Black Americans say this? We don't have no friends. We don't have no allies. We all alone. Which means what they really saying is don't no other group or race of people really fuck with them or ride or die with them, even though they've been supporting other people and the Black and brown movement and all this. You ever heard Black Americans say that before? But Black Americans seem to forget that they was the same ones playing sidekick, running around the world, invading these different countries. They forget about that shit. Of course you a motherfucking lone. Why would a Vietnamese person fuck with you? Do you know how many Vietnamese people Black Americans killed in Vietnam? Do you know how many Black Americans? Do you know how many Mexican people that Black Americans killed in the Mexican-American War? Do you know how many Afghanistan people or that black Americans killed? Iraqians, Germans, Russians? Do you know? Japanese? Hiroshima and all that shit? Why the fuck would a Japanese person come here and fuck with a black American? Tell me that. We're all Americans, but y'all want to divide us by color. No, it's not that y'all want to divide nothing by color. You knock that shit off. You knock that shit off. Are you black or white? You tell me that right now. Whoever just said that Gabby is 3SY, you tell me that right now. You black or white? Because ain't no dividing by color. Because what happens is black Americans play this sidekick role. And we run our ass off to war with y'all. And then when we come home, we treat it like shit. And at the same time, y'all turn around and let the motherfucking grandkids of them same people we went to war with into the fucking country. And you roll out the red carpet. And then you whisper in their ear, don't fuck with black Americans. And then you try to feed them this motherfucking watered down, begging ass, protesting ass history of black Americans. And then you set them up around our community with a business. Gas station, car wash, liquor stores, etc. And you talking about somebody trying to divide some shit. No, white Americans go out, take black Americans with them as a sidekick to other countries in war and invade those countries. Black Americans go into those countries and take people's lives. And then white people later down the line, white people in power, the British American, okay, the British American turns around and let those same people into the country. That's what the fuck takes place. So that you telling me there's not no Afghanistani people running around in the country, even though black Americans went to Afghanistan taking lives? Are there any Iraqians in the country, even though black Americans have went to Iraq and took lives? Are there any German people in the country, even though black Americans have went to Germany and took lives? Japanese took lives. Mexicans took lives. Korea took lives. You name it. Colombia took lives. Black Americans have went everywhere that white Americans have went and took lives. But what do y'all white Americans, British America turn around and do? Let the same people into the country and roll out the red carpet and then whisper in their ear, don't fuck with black Americans. Now, why do them people supposed to respect you? They're like, wow, you're willing to suit up as a black American with the motherfucking same people that you're saying is oppressing you and come to my country and oppress my people. That's what black Americans do. They'll cry in America that they're being oppressed by the British American, but then put on a suit of armor and then go to war with that same British American to oppress someone else and take their resources and take their lives away and destroy their family. That's what the Filipinos said. That's what the people of Vietnam said you did. They went over there and took Saddam Hussein's life and his sons and didn't find nothing. But black Americans was there taking lives. But then coming home begging for equality. And then want them same Iraqi people to come over here and respect them. When British Americans lay out the red carpet and get them liquor stores in your community. So don't tell me about no motherfucking why they should come over and respect black Americans. No, they should not. And then when they learn our history, it's even worse. They're like, all you motherfuckers did was motherfucking fake beg for some shit. That's all they gonna show you. Some sympathetic ass, we should overcome movie. These people see all these bullshit black American, we should overcome movies. They come over here and get this watered down ass Martin Luther King shit. They like, whoa, where that soldier at? They was all in Vietnam taking lives. Thank you for that. I appreciate you on that one. Because some people trying to act like they don't understand that black Americans have went into other countries as a sidekick to British America. Because we are in a British American country, whether you like it or not. All the presidents, except for two presidents, have been descendants of bloodline linked back to Great Britain. So we are in a British American country, whether you like it or not. That's why you speak English. And so black Americans have followed the British American all around the world, making enemies. And they don't realize that. And then they'll go around and say, why these people don't fuck with us? Motherfucker, you everywhere it's an embassy, there's a black soldier somewhere walking around. They trying to figure out why y'all got all y'all strongholds, y'all people out here being soldiers for the people y'all saying who oppressing y'all. Y'all out here trying to help them oppress us. So black Americans are kind of hypocrites. Because they're helping their oppressor go somewhere and oppress other people. And then expecting the kids of those people to come to this country and like them. And that's the truth. Black Americans are expecting the children of the people who they didn't went to war with to come over here and now fucking like your children after they have a history of you motherfucking over there killing motherfuckers in their country. It's not about that. That's just what it is. And so that's reasons why. It's definitely one of the reasons why. And it's one of the it's one of the things that I don't think black Americans think about. Like, your people, black Americans, have a history of teaming up with the white America and going to war and invading other countries. And then later down the line expecting the descendants of those people to come into America now and like them and not see them as their enemy. Because a lot of people we let into the country don't like America. They don't like the United States of America, a lot of people that we let into the country. They just waiting for the moment that America cracks. And so I don't think black Americans think that other people see them as an ally to white America. These people who in the country from Iraq and Afghanistan and Pakistan and different countries we have went into and took resources and took lives. These people also know that there were black soldiers there. They know that there was black American soldiers there taking lives as well. And so when it's like this, and let's be honest here. Somebody gonna ride with this person. Let's say it's their brother or for sure, whatever. It's a ride or die friend that they have. So if you swing on that one person, you better be ready to fight that other person if they there. And so a lot of people see it like that. Who immigrants, they just don't say it. They know if they swing on white America, they gonna swing on black America too, because they know black America gonna be the first to rise up and play sidekick. Okay, there's more black Americans, rad, attempting to shame the Somalians than they are white Americans. That's why people like you black Americans. That's why the Somalians, whether you like them or not, they saying black Americans, y'all a joke. That's why the Somalians saying black Americans, y'all are a joke. Like you guys are constantly screaming that these people are oppressing you. And every time they get into a battle, you run your goofy ass up there as they motherfucking goddamn it Robin to Batman with your tight ass shorts on, or your tight pants, or your pants sagging. Either one, I don't give a fuck. That's why they see black Americans as a joke. I heard a Somalian motherfucker. I had a whole conversation with the Somalian people on TikTok. They said, why every time something goes down, black Americans always run to play sidekick and defend the same people that they saying has taken so much advantage of their people. They don't understand it. And then you wonder why motherfuckers don't fuck with black Americans. They like, cause we know that you the sidekick to white Americans, you stupid motherfucker. You just don't think we know, or you don't think that far. And then you try to play this kumbaya, we all brown shit when we in America. You wasn't playing we all brown when you was invading Vietnam, black America. Black America, you wasn't playing we all brown when you was invading Mexico. Yeah, if you didn't know that, black Americans was there helping take those 9 states from Mexico. Y'all all wasn't brown when y'all was dropping them bombs on Japan, black America. It wasn't about the colored people of the earth. What about when y'all ran in Korea, Colombia, Cuba, black America? It wasn't about we all colored people now. And see, y'all want to play that we all color once these people come to America. They're like, no, motherfucker. It's black Americans in my hometown taking lives, posting up, taking resources, guarding resources. Before I just got to this country as an immigrant, I just was arguing with a black soldier over in my country. Or I just passed one, or one just passed me and asked me to have my ID. I can't be out here this late in this region of my hometown. In my home country. They got an embassy set up over here. I can't even come over here. Guess who's guarding it? Black American soldiers. And now when I come to America, these same black people talking about, hey, we all together. No, we're not. You chose. You just don't know you chose. Oh, this is what you thought. You thought you can choose to be with the person you call your enemy, but outside of y'all playground, which is the United States, y'all friends. Y'all friends when it comes to invading other people's shit, but when y'all get back home, y'all frenemies. This is why they call black Americans joke. They like, wait a minute, black Americans and white Americans, they British Americans, y'all frenemies. At home, you say they're oppressing the shit out of you, but when y'all invading other countries, y'all together. It's past me a light. Okay? And then them people get over to the country one day and they see this shit, they looking like black Americans are a fucking joke. You over in our country playing tough guy with the white American, but then you get over here and the white American let you tell it, treat you less than a human being. Actually, treats the same people, the children of the same people that y'all just went to war with together, treat them better when they let them into the country. And you still crying and asking for equality. You still asking for 40 acres in a fucking mule. You still asking for 40 acres in a mule, and you came over and destroyed my country, and America went back and rebuilt my country. You black Americans came over with white Americans, destroyed my country, and then you're begging for 40 acres in the mule that you actually deserve, work for, and earn your people. But then, guess what? White Americans turned around and rebuilt my country. I'm going to say that one more time. Black America teamed up as a sidekick to white America and ran to the British American and ran into Germany, destroyed that motherfucker, helped destroy that motherfucker. Came back home, couldn't get their 40 acres in the mule, but then the British Americans rebuilt Germany. And then you expect somebody to come into America and respect you? And then guess what? After that, you ain't learned your lesson. You ain't say, okay, fuck y'all. We went to war with y'all against Germany and Japan and all that. You know what? We ain't doing no more of that shit. You turned around and went to Vietnam, went to Korea, went down in Nicaragua, went to motherfucking goddamn it Cuba, went to motherfucking the Philippines. You turned around and went to Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan. What the fuck? You in a love-hate abusive relationship. It's like every time your abuser take you out of town, you cool. But back at home, they don't want you around. And those immigrants see that. And then when they get over here and learn our history, they see it even more. They see that you've been riding with their ass since the Revolutionary War. They see that you've been riding with them since the Revolutionary War. They see that you helped them get their independence but didn't have yours. That's why I say one of the fucking black Americans, they need to learn our history. They don't respect black Americans. If they learn your history, they'll lose so much respect for you. They'll find out that you've been fighting with the enemy since day one. Now, who you say was your enemy? Now, I ain't saying that. Who you say, black America, has been oppressing your people since day one. They will find out that you've been fighting side by side with them since day one. There has not been a country that has been invaded by British America that black America was not there with them. Even those 9 states that they took from Mexico. Y'all think Mexican people forgot that black Americans helped take that shit from Mexico? And then Mexicans get up here and look at you motherfuckers marching and begging. And so they're like, man, fuck y'all. Now you want to have some brown and black pride now, but you done took 9 of our motherfucking states. Nine whole states took it. In war, but took it. And black Americans played the sidekick. I'm going to say it again. White Americans have the most people in the armed services. Next to them, there's black Americans have the next biggest number. They do not go to no war, and black Americans do not be somewhere around. I don't even give a fuck if it's peeling potatoes. That's still an important part of the game. We need fuel. We need food. So I don't give a fuck if you're in the kitchen. I don't care if you're the Medicare. I don't care if you're the radio man. I don't care if you're the lookout. You're a part of that shit. In a criminal organization, you will be a accessory to that shit. You're an accomplice. So black Americans have been accomplice to let the people of the world tell it many war crimes. Yes, let me say that. Black Americans have been the accomplice, if I'm saying it right, black Americans have been the accomplice to many war crimes. And then expect the children of those same individuals who come to America to respect you and like you. But they know their history. They know that just as well as there was white Americans, soldiers over there doing shit, there was black American soldiers over there doing shit too. So no, you won't be getting no respect out of no motherfuckers who y'all done invade their fucking country. Black Americans should not be looking for Vietnamese people to respect them. If you're a black American person looking for a person from Vietnam to like you, you crazy. Do you know how many Vietnamese people black Americans have killed? You're crazy. I would never look for a person from Vietnam to like me if they know their history. I would never look for a person that's of Mexican descent to like me if they really know their history. They would know that black Americans play a huge part in taking those 9 or several states from Mexico. Taking plenty Mexican lives. We have a whole fucking movie about it. I'm not looking for a person from North Korea to like me. Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Germany. Why would you? If you're a black American. I'm not looking for no Cubans to like me. I'm not looking for no people from Nicaragua to like me. Hell, right now, no Venezuelans. Because they all know that black Americans gonna suit their ass up, put on their uniform, and roll with the motherfucking British Americans wherever they go. And so when they kids and shit get over here, they already don't like your ass just because they figure like this. It's like this. It's like how they crying that that's the people that's oppressing them, but they wouldn't go to war with them and come try to oppress somebody. That's how they look at black Americans. Like we hypocrites. And in a sense, you really are a hypocrite. If you crying that these British Americans are your oppressor, the system that they created is your oppressor, and then you willing to go to war with them and try to oppress somebody, you know they only after their resources, you fucking acting like you don't know that. And you still go over there. And you still go over there and take people's lives. And then you come home and then you beg, or protest, or march, or yell, or scream, or stomp, or make a song, or say we should all overcome, a speech, a parade, a broad show, Broadway's motherfucking show for more crime and shit. Lifetime movies, crime. And they see that. And then you're not even taking advantage of the system. For instance, like the Somalians said, I'm going to say this to black Americans. We didn't put in so much work in this fucking country. The Somalians have never had no respect for us. You should not be looking for a Somalian to respect you as a black American. They like, how can these people be taking advantage of you guys for over 400 years? Let you tell it. Okay, let black Americans tell it. Let history tell it. And it's some truth in it. How can these people be taking advantage of you guys for over 400 motherfucking years, and you ain't thought about raping this motherfucking country for everything they got? I think black Americans mad that Somalians beat them to it. Not so much beat them to it because they was never going to do it or they would have been done it. I think a black Americans more pissed that the Somalians had the motherfucking togetherness and the focus not to lose focus of who the real oppressor was supposed to be. See, we didn't went to war with so many countries with white Americans as black as with British America in the British American system that's been created here. We didn't went to war with them so many times. We didn't forgot that they was the opposer. That's what Ali said. Muhammad Ali said, "You my opposer. You the one that tell me I can't eat over here, not the Vietnamese. You my opposer. You the one that say I can't take my children, can't use that bathroom right there, even though my daughter needs to use the restroom. You the one that said I can't sit right here. You the one that said I can't drive over there. You the one that said I'm 1/3 of a human being, not the Vietnamese. And so black Americans have forgotten that. And so I think that black Americans mad at the Somalians because that that fuel, that whatever it is that's fueling the Somalians to just take this motherfucking country for whatever they can, black Americans don't have it in them. They only got that fire when it's time to be a sidekick and go to war. They don't have that fire. That's why I said black Americans are under a spell. They're under a binding spell, a protection spell. They will always be the shield to white British America. Black Americans are under binding spell. They have bound us to them. They have not lost a war or anything of no sort that's major, as long as they have the black American with them. Period. They are hooked to a binding spell. They have put a spell upon us to the point where that's why they kind of erased our shit where we really don't know where the fuck we at, so you always got to be stuck to them. And I'm talking about the British American, English American, because this is the ones we first was with. That's why they tricked us out of, that's why they wiped our memory. Now you're basically bound to them as a protection. They have not went anywhere ever without a black American. I'm gonna say that again. Did they not make a movie where they said them 3 black American women helped them get to the moon? I'm gonna say that again. Did they not make a movie saying that 3 black women, American women, helped them get to the moon? The British English American has never went anywhere without a black American. Nowhere. That's why I say that we are under a bound spell. They bound us to them. It's all witchcraft. It's all witchcraft. That's why they wiped our memories clean. If we knew where we was exactly from or what was ours, we'd just go back there and say, fuck y'all. But as long as you can't do that, you'll always be bound to where they're at. And this is where they at. This is where they lie. So every time they move, you gotta move. Because you have to protect this home as well. Why do you have to protect this home, black America? Because you're bound to it. That was part of the spell that they put on us. For this is the only land you know. So every time they go to war, guess who got to go to war with them? Black Americans. Every time the British English American goes out and create a new enemy on this globe, guess who has to create that new enemy as well? A black American. Why do black Americans have Vietnamese enemies? Because they went to war with the British American. Why do they have Afghanistan enemies? Because they went to war with the British American. Why do they have? Do you see what I'm saying? The black Americans have enemies and they don't even know they have them. Same thing with the British, the black British, English people over there in England. Same thing, spell been put on them as well. so black Americans should not be looking for any respect when it comes to people who come into this country. They know that black Americans have played a big part in going around the world assisting white America with taking and invading countries, invading countries and taking their resources and taking lives. So why is the black American looking for these same people to come into the country and like them now, like they don't know their fucking history? It makes me mad that black Americans think that Mexicans don't know their fucking history. With all the pride that Mexican people have. You don't think that Mexican people know that black Americans played a part in helping taking those 9 states from them? You don't think they have photos in their museums and their history books? You think they don't have stories that's being told about black Americans coming in with a strong force and just, able to wipe out several, being outnumbered and still overcoming several groups and platoons, Mexican platoons? You think they don't have that history of black Americans playing a major part in America winning that Mexican-American war? You think they don't know that black Americans played a part in removing a lot of Mexican people who was on them lands up out of America, out of the United States, uprooting them and taking their property in the name of the United States? You think Mexican people don't know that? You really believe Mexican people don't know their history? So when they come and they side-eye black, it's like, why Mexican people just come here and they automatically just don't like black Americans? Why? Because they see that you're willing to pair up with the one that you are saying that's oppressing you and causing you all this drama and trauma and pain on earth. Not just you, but your family as well. You're willing to team and pair up with them and be under them, under their supervision, and do what they say. You're willing to team and pair up with them and invade my people country and attempt to bring forth that same pain and and agony and thievery that America usually does when it goes into these countries. You black Americans are willing to do that. You're willing to attempt to inflict that same drama upon my people that's being placed upon you. You're willing to attempt to oppress my people the same way that you say that your people are being oppressed. But not only are you willing to do it to my people, you're willing to do it as a sidekick to the one who's doing it to you. And then you think these people supposed to come to America and respect black Americans? Do you? Somebody answer that. Do you think that these people are supposed to come here, learn black American and American history, and see all the oppression that was placed upon black Americans, and then know their history of black Americans pairing up with these same individuals to come into their country and oppress their people, and you think that their children supposed to come here and respect you? Do you not? That's not how that works. I'm not respecting nobody who took the life of my grandfather. I'm not respecting nobody who took the life of my great-grandfather. Individuals can earn my respect. Individuals in that group can earn my respect. But the whole of them would never have my respect. Due to the fact that I know that any given day they'll do it again. So they can never have my respect. And so that's how they look at black Americans. when black Americans, let me tell you something. When black Americans come around or be around or they come around or y'all get around, whoever, however you get around, these different ethnicities of people, Filipinos and Vietnamese people, you gotta fucking, black Americans really gotta earn their motherfucking respect. Cause they already see us as a sidekick. We always talking about how other people pander to white motherfuckers. Ain't no motherfucker pander to British English America like the black America. Ain't no people came to this country and signed up to go to war against other motherfuckers and oppress and take their resources like black Americans. Name a person, name a group of people who came into America and joined our armed forces at great numbers to go take somebody and do some other shit to their people, who came from a country where it was being done to them at. There's no great numbers of fucking German Americans in the American army. There's no great number of Afghanistan Americans in the American army. There's no great number of Iranians and Vietnamese people in America. Are you crazy? You think there's a big number of Vietnamese people in the American army? That they're gonna go somewhere with America and do the fuck that America did to Vietnam? Do you think that? The biggest group next to white Americans in the armed service in America is black Americans. These people ain't running over here to join the armed services unless they're looking for the beneficial factor in it. Have the highest record of joining the military, but still here with the Native Americans have the highest record of joining. And what year they have the highest? Because they ain't had no highest when we've been going to war. They ain't had no highest in the Vietnam War, Korea War, Afghanistan, Iraq War. They ain't have it then. Black Americans always been the next highest number of people in the military besides white Americans. And if you want to break it down per white American group, Italians, Germans, if you want to break it down like that, different European groups, black Americans still, they number one. The British American will probably be number one, but black American will be number two still. Remember, we putting all these white people together as different cultures of white people. Italians, Polish, Germans, Russians, Armenians. We just saying all y'all white. But if you wanted to separate that, I think black Americans would be number one. Do you know how many black Americans are in the fucking service? It's been like 15 people in my family been in the service. All the way to World War II. Past that. We've been fighting in motherfucking American war since the Revolutionary War. Are you crazy? Every time white American has made an enemy, we made it side by side. Are you crazy? Hold on. Every time that white Americans have went out and went to war, a black American was there. Who you see right there? In the trenches with him. I'm talking about real life trenches, not this gang banging shit they doing on the streets. Black America's been going in fucking countries that they ain't know shit about. Going to war. Making motherfucking enemies left and right. And then down the line, British and white America let those same motherfuckers into the country. And then go whisper in their ear, don't fuck with those black Americans. Even though they were just fucking with them over there oppressing. Man. Boy, it's a cold, boy, I swear it's chestnut checkers. White America, the British American, will create an enemy. The black American will play sidekick. Run into their country with them. Take their shit, slaughter people, After the war, they'd come home. Tell the black motherfucker, all right, the black American, all right, get your ass back on. Fuck you. The black Americans still asking for equality and be treated as equal, even though when they were just over in Vietnam and these other countries invading they shit, they was treating each other. They was cool. They was brothers. But now that they back home, get your ass on. They'll turn around and say, let's we feel bad for doing that to that country as a British American, white American. You know what? Let's help with some of their people out. Let some of them in the country. They open up a refugee program. Let them in the country, but before they let them in, they tell them, hey, them black Americans we was over there killing y'all with, the ones that was playing Robin to us being Batman, our accomplice to them war crimes. I'm going to say that again. Our accomplice to them war crimes. One more time for black Americans who keep talking about white Americans keep going around creating doing war crimes, not knowing that they the accomplice to the motherfuckers. Always have been the accomplice to the war crimes. You know them same people who we know them. Oh, the black American, y'all equal, y'all brother. Oh no, that's not our brother. Whoa. Whoa. We were just over there, that was business. Hold on. Let me give a better photo to that business. Wait a minute. Like, but hold on, how was that business when I seen this? No. You did not see that. You thought you seen that. Let me see where that photo at. Hold on. But I seen y'all over there. You was brothers. He was carrying you on his back. He was getting you out them trenches. Listen, don't fuck with them. Okay? We're going to give you the blueprint of how this system goes, loans and housing and this and that. We're going to set you up like we did the Somalians. I'm going to say that again. We're going to set you up like we did the Somalians. But don't you fuck with those black Americans who we invaded your country with. Don't you do that. Don't you dare do that. Now, if you do that, we're going to start fucking with you. So you telling me, Mr. White American, Mr. British American, hold on. You telling me, Mr. British American, that you don't want me to deal with the same guys who you came over there with and invaded my country with? No. We just use them when it's time to go to war. When it's time to go to war, then they help us take over shit, and then we do what we do to them. But we're going to treat y'all guys a lot better than them. And then you thought those people supposed to respect. You think those people supposed to pop out and start respecting you as black Americans? They call you fools. And then you sitting around that taking advantage of the system. They're like, on top of that, not on top of you being taken advantage of, okay, and being misused and abused and mistreated. On top of all of that, there go the photo I was looking for. On top of all of that, you're not even taking advantage of the system. They're not even allowing you to. Every time you try to get up, they find a way to gun your ass back down. So when it's time to go to war, here you go. You hear more black Americans talking shit to the Somalians than the white people, the British white Americans who actually own the money. You don't even hear them saying shit too much. They're like, oh, just get them out the country. Black Americans crying like a motherfucker. Man, they stole $9 billion. The Somalians and it's the things they getting. Black Americans, they doing us like this. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. The Somalians stole $9 billion. And black Americans done fought in every war. We done did this and we didn't march and participated and we the fabric of it. We designed and invented and blah, blah, blah. If you knew all that about yourself and you knew your worth, why the fuck did you keep suiting up and going to war with these motherfuckers then? Why did you do that? Because Ali didn't do that. So don't tell me you ain't had no choice. Okay, they just ran up in Venezuela and took their president. You think there wasn't no black soldiers there? say that again. So they just ran up in Venezuela and took their president, took the man like a resource. You don't think no black American soldiers was there? That's all I want to know. They just went up in Venezuela and kidnapped the president like he was a motherfucking, like he wasn't shit. Took the man, literally. And you telling me you don't think no black American soldiers was involved whatsoever? So stop asking why other people come to this country and don't like black Americans. First of all, they only let people into the country for the most part that we didn't went in and invaded they shit. Why would they like you? You was part of the people who invaded they shit. Okay, this Vietnam right here on the photo. How many Vietnamese people do black Americans expect to like them? You think they don't have these type of photos in Vietnam, in their museum, in their history book? So you think the people in Vietnam don't have history books? Is that what you're telling me? You think that there's not someone there in Vietnam saying, hey, yeah, those guys right there was taking lives too. Yeah, those black guys. You think in the American Korean War, there's not some Korean history book that shows a black American soldier taking up arms against a Korean person? You don't think there's no book that's showing that. You don't think there's a word of mouth, a photo, or nothing. You just think people only know about Iron Man. Well, we also know about War Machine as well. When War Machine, the sidekick to Tony Stark, that's what the black man basically is, a sidekick. But the thing is, the black American soldier gets the black American gets the ass into that deal. Because when they come back home, they're not treated the same equal as they is when they're in the battlefield. And so when these people come to America, they see they see that. Mm-hmm. All the good loud. They see that. As long as they see that, we just gotta wake up and understand that. Like when we keep saying, when black Americans always say they don't have an ally in this country, or they don't have no one that it seems like black Americans see themselves as advocating for so much um, unity amongst colored people in this country, or people of color, if you want to say. They think that they're the unifiers of that, when they don't know that they went around the world with white America dividing and conquering and taking. They forget about that part of the game. They think America is all that it is. Black Americans think that everything is only taking place right here. That people don't know their history outside of the United States of America. That people don't know that black Americans also invaded these countries as well. I will have more photos next time. Mm-hmm. So it's something to think about. I think about that. I'd be like, damn, a lot of black Americans don't realize that a lot of black Americans have went into countries also and invaded these countries with white Americans. We have assisted white America, if you want to call it white America. We have assisted the British Americans in invading all these countries that we haven't actually been in. There has not been a country that's been invaded by the United States of America that wasn't a black American there. And so a lot of these people know their history. You still have black soldiers, black American soldiers posted up at embassies in different countries right now today. They know you're going to fight for America. And a lot of these people that come to this country don't like America. As far as what it stands for, maybe the land. I'm sure they love the land. But what does it really stand for? Because when they get here, they see its greatest ally is being treated like shit. They're like, damn, how is the black America, the white, how is black American, the black American, white America's greatest ally, but at the same time, their oppressor? When immigrants come to this country and they see that, they lose a lot of respect for black Americans. And that's just the truth. It's like watching somebody help the bully. It's like watching somebody help the bully bully people, but then at the end of the day, the bully didn't take his money as well. Like, all right, thanks for helping me get all them guys. Now give me your lunch money too. Come on. It's like, wait a minute, you gonna help the bully us, and then he taking your money too? He ain't gonna even leave you your money for helping us bully, helping him bully us? Wait a minute, let me say that one more time, because that fucked me up. So you are gonna assist the bully in bullying us, and then after y'all are done taking our lunch money and roughing us up, he didn't take yours? That's some shit to think about. And that's how them immigrants look at us. That's how they look at black Americans. Once they finally get to America, now in their country, black America might still be, looked at as someone as, mighty and powerful and courageous and brave. But once they get to America and really start learning our history and, the news, the news and the propaganda and the music videos and the hip hop and rap, and they sit around for about a year and they be like, wait a minute, wait. No, I'm tripping. So you motherfuckers been getting oppressed by these people. Believe it or not, a lot of people do not know the United States history like that. I don't know why people think our shit is just broadcasted and it's in everybody's history book. No, people have their own fucking history and tell the story that they want, how they want it. Their government and leadership is going to tell it the way they want to tell it. That's just the way it is. You know that. So a lot of people don't actually know United States real history until they actually get to the United States. And then when they do learn it, they're like, what the fuck? So wait a minute. Black Americans been getting oppressed. Because this is how they gathering this shit. This is how they gather our history when it comes to race relations. We're going to talk about that part. So black Americans, the way y'all telling this story, black Americans have been getting oppressed by white Americans for over 400 motherfucking years, but then have the nerve to put on the uniform and help them go oppress somebody else? No, you don't get no respect for that. You don't get no respect. You don't get no respect for helping the bully other people, and then after y'all get through bullying other people, he turn around and take your lunch money too. No, you don't get no respect for that. I'm sure there were black soldiers involved in that operation, and I respect my black brothers in uniform just as much as I do my white, Asians, and Hispanic soldiers, and I'm in a Air Force combat veteran. I bet you are, but I bet you this. You can talk all that respect shit you like, but you ain't in control of shit. You see, it's not about you, brother, and thank you for your service and whatever you think you done. But it's not just about you. You're not in no position of power. You're not in a position of influence. If you was, I would doubt that you would let the same people into the country that we just went to war with. But guess who did? The British American leadership. They did that. And see, they help black Americans go out there and help create these fucking enemies. And then when we get them, then people become our enemies because we going over there taking fucking lives. Guess what y'all turn around and do, Mr. I like my black soldiers. Y'all turn around and let them same people into the fucking country upon us. How you gonna go over there and create a fucking enemy and then come here and treat the enemy better than you treat your ally? The black American has fought in every war in this country with white America, even a revolutionary war to get their independence, but didn't get theirs. So what are you talking about? World War II, World War I, the Mexican-American War. Black Americans helped fucking British America take 9 fucking states from Mexico and was still motherfucking being treated like hung from trees. What the fuck is you talking about? And still being hung from trees. Came from Vietnam and was told you can't even get a fucking drink of water. What are you talking about? Came from Vietnam and was told you couldn't even get a drink of water. But you went over there killing all them fucking Vietnamese people for these motherfuckers. And guess who your enemy now? Vietnamese people. So why would black Americans think that Vietnamese people will like them? I don't know why. I don't know why black people would think that Vietnamese people will like them. I can't fathom it. You was the main ally, running your ass all up in Vietnam, killing all the motherfucking people. Okay? You was the main ally, black America. There you go. You was the main motherfucker. Y'all was brotherly love. Taking all them Vietnamese people's lives, taking all their resources, doing what you wanted to do in Vietnam. But when you came back to America, you was treated like shit. Not only as a U.S. soldier, but a U.S. citizen. And white America's greatest ally. Never had one like you before. You helped them get their fucking independence. Nobody else helped British America get their independence. Black America did that shit. The Indians was in too bad of a shape. So black America helped British America get their fucking independence from Britain. You was treated like shit, but then they turn around and let Vietnamese people into the country. And then when they get here, black Americans are expecting them to respect them and like them and to, team up. They want these different people of different colors to come around and be like, yeah, we all brown and they are our oppressor. No, bitch, they your oppressor. They yours. But they also your greatest ally. You their greatest ally. You are helping the bully other people. And after you done, he turns around and bully you. There is no American, so black America, I respect my brothers and black. No, they fucking don't. No, they don't. Not the leadership, individuals, like the brothers in the comment section, yes. But not the leadership. And that's where it really counts. An individual is an individual. A friend indeed is a friend indeed. But when it comes to the leadership, that's what other immigrants see when they come to the country. They see how the leadership is treating or has mistreated the black American after all their many sacrifices. And then to turn around and put those same ones who we just went to war with above us in our social grade. or in this system that they created. Loans on top of loans and pardons on top of pardons, and every 4 5 years you can change the name up and don't pay no taxes, and you can get this loan, all type of shit. These people ain't fought a fight or nothing. Actually, we fought against them. These people ain't fought in one fucking fight. Actually, we fought them. How the fuck we risked our life running up in fucking Germany and fucking Nicaragua and fucking the Philippines and Korea and Afghanistan and Iraq, and right now to this day, those same people are being treated with a golden hand. Somalians and all these people. Listen, I was talking to some Mexican people one day, and I was like, listen, if America ever went to war with Mexico, who you fighting for? It wasn't not one of them motherfuckers who said the United States. And I'm just being honest with you. It was one person that said it depends on what they warn about. And that was a female. She was like, it depends on what they warn about. She was like, but, I'm Mexico. They ain't no motherfucker in here warn with America like that, but the black American. Ain't nobody joining the armed service at alarming rates like the black American and the white American. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all need to take a tour of the armed service lineup and watch who you see. Now, you do have a lot of Hispanic brothers in there, getting in there now too. But for the most part, ain't nobody in that. It's all throughout history. The black American has always been the British Americans' greatest ally when it comes to war. And in that process, whatever enemy that they pick up, we pick up as well, because we are there assisting them. We are your ally in the war. To all them war crimes that you say that white American went and created around the world, black American has been their ally in that. What they call you they rapping. And people don't forget that. People don't forget that. People don't forget that there's black American soldiers coming into their country, taking lives as well. And then when they people get to this country, we be looking like, why they upset, looking at us all type of ways. What? I don't understand that. We've been accessory to some of black Americans have been accessory to some of the most heinous war crimes. Go talk to some real black American soldiers who really been in the guts. They gonna tell you, yeah, we done did some fucked up shit, man. They'll tell you. Go talk to some real black American soldiers. My uncle was in World War II. He just passed away last year, like 95 years, 96 years old. Named Lewis Bradley. Look him up. Passed away in Chicago. Man, the stories my uncle will tell you, man. The stories my neighbor will tell you. My neighbor, a Vietnam veteran. Black Americans have taken a lot of lives across this globe in the name of America. And people don't forget that when people come to America. They see black Americans as the Robin to them being black Batman. But what makes it worse is when they get here, your people are calling them your oppressor. And so they can't fathom how you are assisting your oppressor in oppressing someone else. It doesn't register to them properly. And it shouldn't, because it's unheard of. It's fucking unheard of. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's unheard of. Nobody else on the face of this earth has a history of helping their oppressor go and oppress someone else. If you can, drop it in the comment section. Give me another group of people on the planet Earth who has a help their who has continuously. Okay, I'm talking about on pardon me, on wide scales. We're talking about taking 9 to 10 states from Mexico. Black Americans was involved in helping taking 9 to 10 states from Mexico. That alone, it just it is shattering. Okay, but let's talk about other places outside of the Western Hemisphere. Let's go over to the Eastern Hemisphere. Do you know how many places and countries that Black Americans have been involved in taking lives and resources and being the security guard and being the guardsman to some of the most heinous fucking crimes? And then Black Americans sit back and act like the people of that country don't have a knowledge of their history. They tell you all the time, you Black Americans don't know your shit, we know ours. So they know that you came into that fucking country playing cowboy with them goddamn white Americans. They know that. They're not stupid. That's why they say, oh, we can't trust y'all. Then Black Americans wondering why Mexicans always huddling up amongst themselves, don't want to tell Black Americans shit. Why the fuck would they tell you something when they know your ass gonna run over there to your oppressor and goddamn it tell him? Why would Mexican Americans sit there and try to come up with some shit with Black Americans when they the same ones that help white Americans take 9 of their fucking states? When around that time, Mexico was allowing any Black American who was an escaped person from slavery or oppression or being bound, they was allowing them, if they can make it over there to them, they was allowing them to stay in Mexico and be a free person. And a lot of those people took arms and helped Mexico fight America. If you know that part of your history. And so some Black Americans was so Black Americans was so so bound to this oppression or the oppressor that they was willing to not only fight with the ones who was oppressing them during the Mexican American War, they was willing to fight a group against another group of people, which was the Mexicans, in an attempt to take from them, and also the free Black men and women who escaped slavery in the United States and got and flee over to Mexico. They was willing to fight them as well. So again, the Black American has been the accomplice, the assistant to some of the most heinous fucking crimes in the world. And then you wonder why when these people get here, they automatically can't fuck with you. They can't fuck with you. They can do it on an individual level. But as a whole, they're not fucking with no Black American. They know what you're going to do. They know you're going to put on that uniform and you will come over there and invade their country with the white Americans, with the British American system. I'm going to call it the system. I don't want to put all white people involved in that like that. That shit don't be cool. On as far as like being the creator of the system. But the ones who create that system and willing to use their authority and their powers to oppress other people and take resources like they're doing in Venezuela, whether you like the situation or not, that's what's going to occur. And there's Black American soldiers right there. When they set that perimeter up and say, hey, guard this, you think there ain't going to be no Black American? They're going to make sure it's Black American soldiers there because they want them Vietnamese people It's like the black American always get the ass end of that enemy. We always get the most of that enemy because guess what they gonna do? They'll turn around and let them same people into the country in boatloads later on down the line. And before they get into the country, they tell them don't fuck with them black Americans. And they be looking like, wait a minute, that's the same motherfucker that was over there in our country with you, fucking invading our shit. How you gonna tell us not to fuck with them? Oh, we just use them for war purposes. Don't worry about that. We gonna set you up real nice. Just don't fuck with them. And they not. They like, man, these motherfuckers are backdooring y'all, oppressing y'all. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of every motherfucking body on the earth, but won't give y'all what y'all worth and what y'all people work earn. So nobody's respecting that. Nobody's respecting someone who had the audacity to help the ones who oppress their people come and oppress somebody else. They're not respecting that, man. Nobody's respecting that. Just that simple. Hold on, let me read some comments down here. I don't want to neglect. I know I be off into my shit. I'm sure there was a black. Okay, beat Trump beat like you know what? Whether he won or not, whether he did that to him or not, it's shit. Is he bogus for running into that country, taking that man up out of there? I hate to start a domino effect of things, but that's what British Americans known for doing. The system is known for doing. So we did it to, Saddam Hussein and his sons and Muammar Gaddafi and all them motherfuckers. So it's that's what we do. But I'm talking about the fact that that Black Americans are always going to play the sidekick to this type of crime. Whether you think it's a crime he did or you think it's a good thing, the Black American is always going to play the sidekick. It's always going to be the right hand man. It's always going to be that that person that's accessory to them crimes. No, ain't no be blessed. Ain't no be blessed. See, that's what you want. You want somebody to just take what you gave 5 years ago and say be blessed. Ain't no be blessed. Ain't no be blessed. Ain't no be blessed. And that's the Black American problem. Ain't no be blessed. Motherfucker, you still holding on to patterns, inventions, land, deeds that belong to Black Americans. Ain't no be blessed. No, you be blessed that you have Black Americans to help you get your motherfucking to do the things that you do because you never done it alone. The white British American, the British American has never fought a war without the Black American ever. Not even the war against Black America. Now you take that one. I'm going to say that again. Not even the war against Black America. Every war that the British American has ever fought, the Black American was right there by his side. Even the one against Black Americans. Who you think sold the dope in our community? Black Americans. But who gave them the shit? White Americans. So even in street wars, even in the war of the communities, even in the battles for education, even in the battle for equality and proper pay, equal pay, you always had a Black American to try to stand on other Black Americans. Even Martin Luther King said, I feel I had led my people into a burning house. But who gave him the direction to that burning house? The British American. So no, ain't no be grateful. You continue to start fucking wars, and we continue to be your ally in them wars, even though we are getting oppressed. Now you can tell me things done change and things is like this. Now, and yes, you're right. There has been some changes, but it has not been by you coming to the realization that you in the wrong, or I'm not gonna say you, the ones in power. It has not come by their hands. It has come by the hard work that's been put forth when it should have been common sense. Hey, how the fuck is we gonna treat our ally like this? We'll treat these other people like they golden. You didn't do that. Let me get to that interesting subject. What was the last war you was in? I'm always in a war. I'm always in a war. What are you talking about? If you don't have a war type mindset, you probably ain't gonna make it too much longer. I don't go out and pick on people and start shit, but my mind is always there. Any given day, it can happen. What are you talking about? What is the last war you was in? Fuck you talking about? Oh goddamn it, bloodline been fighting wars for this fucking country. Even me. No, not how I'm crying out. I'm good over here. But I know my brothers and sisters are not in their ways of thinking on why a lot of immigrants come to America that don't like them. Because what we do is go around the world with British America taking on making enemies when they're British American enemies. They're white America's enemies. They're not our enemies. Venezuelans are not our enemies. They're white America's enemies. White America has an agenda with Venezuela. White America had an agenda with Korea. White America had an agenda with Vietnam. White America had an agenda with Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, South America, South Africa. White Afghanistan had Nicaragua, Cuba. You had that agenda. We didn't have shit. We didn't have shit. You had that agenda. You help us make them enemies. We them people were not our fucking enemies. Now, when I see a Vietnamese person, they looking crazy at me. You know why they looking crazy at me? Let me show you why a Vietnamese person is probably looking crazy at me right now. Okay? Let me show you why a Vietnamese person is probably be looking crazy if they see me right now. Let me show you. So you can have an understanding. Understand? You know why? Because the American soldier, the black American, was right over there with the white American and invade their motherfucking country. Okay? You know how many motherfucking Vietnamese people my uncle they took lives from? And now Vietnamese supposed to like black people? So all of a sudden black people think that Vietnamese people supposed to come to America after knowing the history that black people came over there with white America playing sidekick, trying to take them people resources and killing all the Vietnamese people. Now they supposed to come to America and like black people? Wow, ain't that something? Ain't that something? So Mexicans are just supposed to like black people after they helped British America take 9 states from Mexico. Now black people talking about why there's not a brown and black coalition. You wasn't looking for one when you took them fucking 9 states from Mexico. So I guess the people of Iraq supposed to like black people. Afghanistan, Korea, Philippines. Where haven't the black American soldiers been? Where haven't he been? All the way in Cuba doing shit for white America. All through South America. Wherever there's an embassy, there's a black American soldier some fucking well. You ain't create none of those enemies. Don't none of them people know you. That'd be the first time they ever encountered a black American person. spank they shit, and then later down the line, their kids and shit get over here after knowing their history, and you think they supposed to just like you. Like they don't know you just was over there, your people were just over there taking their people's shit, helping them kids. Get the fuck out of here. So ass out of here. Like the Somalians don't know that black Americans was all the way over there with the U.S. trying to invade Somalia. Like black Somalians don't know that shit. That black Americans being on that shit too. Fuck out of here. Black Americans been running around the globe creating just causing just as many war crimes as white Americans, or being the accessory to the crimes. Name a war crime that America did, and I can point to I can name a black person that probably was around. There ain't been a war crime created by the United States, done by the United States of America that a black American soldier wasn't somewhere in the mix. These motherfuckers ain't went nowhere on the face of the earth without black Americans. They even told you it took 3 black American women for them to get to the moon. Did they not tell you that in the movie Figures? Did they not tell you 3 black American women to help them get to the moon? So they have not been, the British American has not been nowhere on the face of the earth since he has encountered the black Americans since day one. He has been nowhere on the earth without them. Side by side since day one. And then you think other people, these people who claim that the Western world has done this and that, when they say the Western world, they're talking about the United States of America. They're not talking about motherfucking Colombia. They're not talking about Canada. They're not talking about Costa Rica. When they say the Western world, they mean the United States of America. And who is soldiers? And who are his soldiers? The white American and the black American. Don't nobody history book show nobody else. Ain't no Vietnamese history book gonna show no motherfucking Mexican soldiers. It ain't gonna show no motherfucking Russian soldiers. It ain't gonna show no motherfucking who else fuck running around? Chinese soldier. American. It ain't gonna show no Japanese American soldier. It's gonna show a British American soldier and a black American soldier. That's what the Vietnamese history books have. So when they come to America, you automatically a part of that enemy. However they feel about white America, they feel the same way about you, black American. The difference is the white American let them into the country. You didn't. So they still got to play some type of fair ball with white America because they didn't want to let them into the country. You did. Black Americans wouldn't be that dumb. They know they just went over there and killed all the motherfucking people. And I'm gonna let my enemy amongst me. No, but white Americans would do that. They would go and make an enemy and then turn around and let them people into the country amongst y'all. But when they let them in the country amongst y'all, who they let them amongst? They let them amongst black Americans. But before they let them amongst the black Americans, they made sure they set them up with the right system and the right programming so they can look like or be on their way to looking like they're accomplishing more than black Americans in a short amount of time. So now we got these same people who we didn't went to war with over they in the country now, later down the line, and now they people telling us how we lazy, we ain't done shit, we don't work hard, you ain't never done nothing, you don't take advantage of us, blah blah blah. Well, who run the people amongst us? Why would you bring our enemy amongst us like that? It's supposed to be our enemy now. We ran in Vietnam together now. We ran in Somalia together now. We ran in Korea together now. Afghanistan, Iraq, Pakistan, we ran in all the places together. Why would you turn around and let them in on us like that? How would you turn around and be oppressing our community but uplifting theirs? To the point where the Somalian people was able to steal $9 billion with only having less than a half a million population in the whole country. No more than probably a half a million people in the whole country was able to take $9+ billion, steal $9+ billion from the country because you're too busy watching your side chick. You're too busy um, doing your best to make sure that the black community gets the worst. You're too busy trying to gentrify and pump different drugs and create different systems of jail systems so you can continue to try to place us in prison and then with the most time for those crimes. You're too busy trying to influence the music industry to only allow music that's coming from black American artists to be negative. You're too busy doing that. That's why the Somalis was able to steal that money. That's why. You're too busy trying to stand on the throat, on the neck of those who was your greatest ally going across this world, invading other countries and taking from other people. You're so busy trying to keep us down within the country that you allowed a whole other group of people to get away with whatever they wanted to. $9+ billion. Because you was worried about us during those years. You was worried about pumping crack cocaine into our communities during those years. You was worried about giving us boys in the hood and men to society and gangster rap, pimps and hoes. So all those years that you was busy focusing on destroying the black community and infiltrating and sabotaging, others was able to get away with murder. That's what happened. Admit that. America still won't admit that. America spent 30 years of resources, of art, of energy, of manpower, trying to hold down the black community for over 30, 40, 50 years. They used so much money, so many different plans and avenues and equations and different methods and brung in all type of different philosophers and psychiatrists. You know these people was doing all type of shit. Magicians and wizards, corrupting the school system, the churches, the households, the employment, places of employment. They landed all these motherfucking immigrants on top of the black Americans, but kept taking us to war with them. This is the only time you've seen black British American and black Americans motherfucking hanging out like this. It's time for war. Oh, that white American gonna hang close to that black American. Oh yeah. Go to war. Go to a foreign country with their ass. All that shit out the way. Man, we're soldiers. We're United States soldiers. Yeah. Come back, you better ain't from that water. Man. They still got sundown time. How the fuck is y'all talking about a sundown time? That should be like an urban legend. That should be like a Scooby Doo show. We just riding and a think of fall just come up and then some motherfucking Klansmen ghosts just pop up like, man, this is Scooby Doo shit. This shouldn't even be a real place that we talk about. But who is the sundown town for? I'm gonna ask that again. Who are they for and who are they created for? I ain't never seen an Asian motherfucker hanging from a tree. Don't tell me Asian people don't drive through there. So I'm trying to figure this out. Who are the sundown towns for? and who are they created by? That's just as important because I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I got the notion that some tells me that it was created by this one guy with the glasses on right here that you see, and it's for the other guy that's on his side right here. If you look at my photo, you see the one guy with the glasses. I think that some people that look like him created it, a sundown town, and it was for the guy that's standing next to him. But why not? Why aren't they conducting themselves like that as they walking through invading this other country? Though is what I'm trying to figure out. Why isn't this black guy looking at this guy like back home you're trying to fucking kill me? And why ain't this white guy looking at this black guy like back home I wouldn't want your ass standing next to me? Why are they looking Chippy and Charlie invading somebody else's shit? Hmm. That's all I'm asking. Answer that. Who was the sundown town created by and who was it created for? Because I never seen a Hispanic person hanging from a tree. Not in the United States. I never seen an Asian. I never seen a fucking Arabic person. I never seen a Native American. I never seen a Hawaiian, Samoan, whatever you like to call them. I never seen an Italian, an Irish, a German. So I'm trying to figure this out. Who created the sundown town and who was it created for? Now I would hate to think that it's created by. I would really, really hate to think that it's created by this same guy right here. I would hate that he created that. I would hate to think that that guy in the front created it for the guy in the back. I would hate to think that because they look pretty, together, brotherly over there invading somebody else's shit. So me as a Vietnamese person, if I was in Vietnam, I would think I would, I would never think that he created that for him. No, they two together invading my shit. They all in my shit walking around killing motherfuckers. He would never do that to him. That's his brother. That's his brother. He would never create a sundown town with his brother. Better yet, he would never allow one to be created. He'd put that shit to a stop. Guess what'll happen? They'll come together and all march through that sundown town and say, we ain't leaving this bitch until it's not a sundown town no more. But he ain't gonna do that. This is what they gonna do. They gonna act like they gonna go to places and they gonna sit around as black and white and take the lives of other people. And then when they get home, it's every man for himself. Stay the fuck away from me, I stay the fuck away from you. And so when immigrants come in and see that black and white relationship ain't really what they thought it was on the battlefield, that's where the lack of respect comes from. That's where that kicks in. How the fuck is you helping your oppressor oppress somebody else? No, I don't have no respect for you as a fucking man. No, I don't have no respect for you as a person from Vietnam, Korea, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and so forth. No, I do not. I done came here, learned your history, and learned that the only thing you ever done was motherfucking beg these motherfuckers until it was time to come over there and invade my shit. Then you didn't have to beg. I didn't come out with the movie that said black women created shit. They came out with the movie that said black women helped them get to motherfucking to the moon. I don't think they ever been to the moon, frankly. But I'm just saying what they said. They said three black women came up with a formula to help them get to the moon. I didn't say that shit. They made the movie, not me. I was always asking why they wait to tell us the story now. Why they didn't tell us that when I was little. They've been knowing these women did that shit since the what? 60s, 70s. Why you ain't tell us back then? You gonna tell us 3 years ago? Wow, we don't need to know that shit now. What good knowing about them women does us now? Tell me that. Riddle me that. What good knowing about them three goddamn women? What does it do us now? We needed that inspiration back in the day. None of motherfuckers need that now. You know, phone finna die. Let's go. Till next time, y'all. I'll be back tomorrow, man. Appreciate y'all still joining, though.